I understand why people are having a hard time figuring out how to vote on Prop 123. Let's not forget, this current majority has devastated our public education system in this state. Our schools are suffering dramatically. 44% of teachers leave after 2 years. That's a crisis. I understand the desire to teach Governor Ducey and the legislative majority a lesson. I get that. But if you're considering voting no, consider who's really going to pay the price. These folks won't. They're going to say people just don't want to fund education. But who's going to pay the price are those teachers who haven't had a raise in 8 years and won't get it for another 8. It's the kids who are in the classroom and can't postpone their education until their classroom is well funded. Those are folks who will suffer if we decide to make a political point and vote no. If you look at some of the arguments that people have been throwing up in opposition, I think a lot of them crumble under careful viewing.
As a nonpartisan think tank, we looked at the numbers. We know Prop 123 is not perfect, but it will work. And Prop 123 is going to put about $3.3 billion over 10 years into education, most of it, or a large portion of it, happening just in this initial first year. There are concerns that Prop 123 will raid and deplete the state land trust, and that's simply not true. By law right now, we take 2.5% annually from the state trust lands, even though the state trust lands actually earn on average a little bit over 6% a year. And even though Prop 123 is going to take 6.9% out for 10 years, we're going to go back to 2.5. One concern that's brought forward is that we have about a $600 million surplus in the state budget, and we ought to use that instead of Prop 123. $600 million is about what we have now. It's not going to be necessarily what we're going to have in 3 years or 5 years, and so it's not certain enough that you can use that as a way to settle the lawsuit. But the important part is we're settling a lawsuit, and we're going to make sure that the schools are funded at a legal minimum amount, and that's what Prop 123 does.
We have to do 123 now in order to get money into the classrooms now, and then we need to move forward. It's not the end, it's the beginning.
We looked at the numbers and we found that Prop 123 will work. It's going to provide inflation funding adjustments that the legislature will abide by. It maintains that the trust fund will maintain its integrity, and it sets a baseline that we can build off of so we can actually improve education funding even more in the future. But we need this initial step in order to be successful.
Voting yes for Prop 123 is the critical first step, but that's just the beginning. Prop 123 Go is the campaign that represents the continued effort. As community groups, education leaders, voters from around the state continue the effort, long after the victory, to hold Arizona's legislators and policymakers accountable, to build that coalition that keeps education funding a priority. So we're asking voters to visit prop123go.com. Take the pledge, sign on to this cause, and let's make sure that the win on May 17th, as we pass Prop 123, points to other wins down the road for our students, for our public schools, and really for the future of Arizona.